Like a boss.
All right. Okay, people. All right. Let's talk about Justin Timberlake. All right. I love his music. In fact, he's actually one of my favorite artists. Suit and Tie. Oh, I love that song. Right. Just bye bye bye. I love that song too. Right. Confessions. I love. No, he didn't make Confessions. Look, maybe he should make it. Ladies, look. This is something very difficult to understand about people. All right. And this is this. People never do things just once. Always remember that. Whatever you see today will happen tomorrow. It might have already happened in the past and will likely happen again in the near future. People never do things just once. It is a fool for you to think that whatever you're doing now, you'll never repeat. I'm gonna stop smoking. Yeah, okay, right? People never do things just once. If somebody ripped you off, most likely they ripped someone off in the past and will rip off somebody else in the future. And that and their actions will sooner or later catch up to them. People never do things just once. See the crackhead that punched me in the face and broke my tooth? That motherfucker's gonna get fucked up one day by some other crackhead. Because crackheads never do things just once. If you want to know the story, just go to my video and put chip tooth crackhead and you'll find my video. And this is the thing, man, is that I don't tell people. I don't how can I say this? I'm not gonna say that he cheated and stuff like that. But if it's whenever there's smoke, there's fire, right? There's been a lot of allegations of him like flirting with co-stars and stuff like that. And let me tell you something, man. For a lot of women, rationally speaking, when you're looking on the outside in, you will say that's a red flag and I'm leaving it. But whenever you're in love, you move the goalpost. You make it so that he could pass the goalpost. You see what I'm saying? And this is something that's sad. Why do men cheat? Let me tell you something, man. I remember when I had a girl. I remember when I had like my first really attractive girlfriend when I was younger, right? Like when I was younger, I had this one girl that at the time I was like, man, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever been with, right? One second. She's the most beautiful girl I've ever been with, right? And I could tell you that after like a few weeks of being with her, I was really looking at other women. I was really looking at other women. Like I was looking at, it wasn't that I was looking at women who were not as attractive as her. In fact, I was actually looking at women who were less attractive than her, and that looked a little bit different to her, right? She was thick, not like fat, but she was like curvy, and I would look at women who were skinnier. Why? Because I wanted the contrast, right? Now I didn't do nothing, right? Because we ended it, but it was there. I remember that. I was a little shocked. I was like, wow, I would think I would be happy with her, right? Now, what was it? What happened with her? The problem with her was that she showed way too much interest to me. She validated me a little bit too long. She sucked a little too long, right? Nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying for the sake of validation, she validated me a little bit too long, right? A little bit too much. And it made me feel like I need space. I needed space. I needed space, right? And so what happened because of that need for space, it made me look to other women. Now, what I was looking for? It wasn't that I was looking for someone who was more attractive. I was looking for the same validation that she used to give me, but I don't get anymore. It's almost like when you people go from drug to drug. That drug, I'm already tolerant to that drug. Let me go to do something else. Cocaine doesn't do it for me, so let me smoke some crack, right? That's pretty much you don't do it for him no more, right? The same blowjob that used to blow his mind doesn't blow his mind anymore, right? The same emotion, and that tends to happen because of overstimulation, either emotionally or physically. Overstimulation. You two there. Or sometimes guys, when they feel like this commitment, like he has a kid with Jessica Biel, that commitment can maybe make him feel trapped. And when guys feel trapped, they'll want to feel adventurous and they end up cheating, right? And that's what might occur. I can see it from his perspective, man. Look, Jessica Biel, she's a beautiful girl, right? But what would tend to happen is that I could be wrong, but what I notice is that when you have a family and you're a dude who's still, how can I say, there's a part of you that wants a family, but also there's a part of you that wants to have fun. You can't deny that, right? And he's had a history of being a dick in the past. He's had a history of being a real asshole to women in the past, right? And so what you got to understand is that because of that, And because you're seeing the little rumors and stuff like that, and then you see this when he's caught red-handed with a photo with the woman basically with his hand on his dick almost, right? You can't help but sort of believe that Jessica Biel has some suspicion. And now they say that he's in the what is it? He's in the what is it? In the cage hole, whatever the fuck they call it, rat hole. I don't fucking know, but he's like in a cage right now. Metaphorically, like now she's checking him. Now she's checking in on him. You know what that does? That makes him cheat even more. You know why? Because it makes him feel even more trapped. Ladies and gentlemen, when you suspect that your man is cheating, you don't ask him to change. And I know a lot of people disagree with me because you see a lot of marriage counselors and you know people who say they got over a cheating, but rationally speaking, it's like having a car that you have for 30 years and you don't sell that car because you love that car. No matter what happens, you keep that car, and I understand. But rationally speaking, if somebody ever does that to you, you gotta leave them because they'll end up repeating the same behavior. You're pretty much like it's like rolling the dice. It's like playing Russian roulette. Most likely, you're gonna get shot again. You see what I'm saying? You see, guys sometimes don't cheat because they don't cheat a lot of times because also emotional, but because they feel trapped. So what you gotta do with guys essentially is to give them space. In fact, you gotta make them feel like you need space. Because what that does is that tends to when I feel like somebody needs space from me, it tends to hurt the ego. It tends to say, wow, like damn, like I'm cool. Right? Like when somebody tells me, dude, I need some space in a nice way, I'll give them space, but a part of me will feel a little offended. But that feeling of feeling offended is what makes me go back to you when you are ready to give me more time. You see what I'm saying? So one of the ways to deal with guys who are cheaters is to, I mean, look, man, it's harder for me to say that once you see cheating, forgive them, but I've just seen it too many times, man. I just think that if somebody cheats once, it's over. But the problem is that some people have kids with them and they have lives with them. So then you got to measure it, you know? And kids are not stupid. They might be retarded in terms of like rationally. They might not have no rational thoughts, but they can sense things. They can read emotions a lot better than what adults feel. They can sense the energy in the room a lot better than you could, because they're more in touch with their pre-verbal way of communication. Their communication is more pre-verbal. They look at your reactions a little bit more. They can sense the energy in the room a lot more than adults can, right? They're like animals, basically, right? So if a guy ever cheated on you, man, a lot of times there's two reasons for it. It's either part of his character, and he's been doing it for his whole life, and he'll do it again and again. And the thing is, they'll apologize. Oh yeah, they'll apologize because they're sorry they got caught, right? And the thing is, a cheating man's apology sounds sincere. Oh, it definitely sounds sincere. But it's the same thing when I say I'm gonna stop smoking weed. I sincerely say I'm gonna stop smoking, and guess what happens? I end up smoking again. People never do things just once. What you see most likely happened in the past, and most likely will repeat itself in the near future. It's a reflection of their character and who they are. And it's not up to you to change them, but it's up to them to pick a relationship that doesn't cause this kind of friction. Because a lot of times when you're a cheater as a man, you gotta adjust your lifestyle based on your cheating lifestyle. What does that mean? You gotta have an open relationship, my nigga. You gotta have that. Who's his name? It's like Will Smith. He has an open relationship with his wife. You don't see any rumors. You don't. You got to adjust your relationships based on what you have in hand. If he's a motherfucking cheater, or better yet, if you're a cheater, a guy or girl, then you can't be having these kind of close relationships because you're a cheater. I mean, it's as simple as that. As simple as that. I know myself. I know myself very well, and I base my relationships based on how I am as a person. based on my characters, based on my flaws, right? I don't try to fit myself in places that I don't fit. You know, like that's why I don't work 9 to 5, because I don't fit that kind of job. I always got fired or cheated. Like I always cheated on the jobs, right? They always broke up with me. So what did I do? I didn't force it. I just found something else that was more open. So to avoid these kind of problems, it's important to know the kind of relationships that you are better able to do. Now, if you're a cheater and then you're jealous, then you got a problem, bro. Then then you gotta work on that, man. And maybe relationships are just not for you. You know, you see, the bad part is when you're stuck with a guy, when you guys rely on each other. That's a problem, right? But essentially, that's the thing, man. Is that dudes like him eventually, like the trust is broken, in my opinion. Too many people talking, it's in her head. I mean, I don't know how you could deal with that. Like how do you know she, like that kind of stuff would just mess with your head, and it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It'll affect all the relationships you have because you'll become paranoid. I don't know, man. I could easily be wrong about this, ladies and gentlemen. I could easily be wrong, but that's one of the reasons why guys cheat, man. This is how you deal with these kind of guys, man. Yeah, man. And look, I get a lot of people who hit me up for coaching, right? And by the way, if you need coaching, go to the link below. And the ones that listen to me, the ones that don't pay attention to me, because I can tell when people are not going to pay attention to me. The ones that don't listen to me end up getting cheated on again. Just always remember that people never do things just once. Just always remember that part. Like whenever you see somebody doing something, just repeat that in your head. Most likely that's not the first time they've done it, and you'll have a better understanding about them. Like you're gonna have like a better, like a very quick understanding about them. If you just assume what they're doing is most likely is a repetition of a behavior. If they're late, most likely they're always late. If they cheated you, most likely they always cheat. Until they prove you wrong, you don't assume otherwise. That's how it is, man. That's how the cookie crumbles. All right, look. By the way, people, I'm working on a course called Natural Chemistry. All right, it's the light side of the psychological game of attraction. Oops, this is the good side, right? And so it should be on pre-sale either by today or by tomorrow. All right, and the reason why I made that course is because it's unique in terms of the content. It's going to be like a weekly kind of course. Like the first week, you get strategies of attraction. Second week, the first week can have the all the strategies of attraction, right? And with tasks to do. Excuse me. The second week, like you're gonna have male nature, where I explain to you different parts of male psychology, so that you can then properly react to men, not based on what you assume they are, but based on the reality of who they really are. Like I just told you earlier, right? With some guys that are cheaters, you just cannot be in a close relationship with them. Some guys are just unchangeable. Like you can't move them from who they are, right? So it's important to know that. So I talk about that. And after that, we're gonna talk about integrating your masculine and your feminine to give you that spark, to give you that unique edge that makes you stand out from most women. After that, how to integrate your shadow side. After that, how to like just a whole bunch of different topics, each per week, right? And some of the weekly videos are gonna be 2 hours long, and some of them are gonna be 30 minutes long. The point is that each week you're gonna get an action per section, right? And that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna have a lot of bonuses, like the social, how to be more social, like the mastery seminar, social mastery, spiritual mastery. You can have those bonuses as well. Okay, so if you want that, if you want to purchase it, it's gonna be on the description down below. If it's 2020, if not, just wait for the pre-sale. And yeah, all right, peace out, people. Take care.
All right, ladies. So this is the course that all of you guys have been asking me for, and it's the psychological game of attraction. This is pretty much the course that will make any man beg to want to commit with you. This is the course that I wish, I'll be honest with you, if I was a woman, this is the kind of course that I want, because it's a course that's specifically geared to help you understand how guys fall in love. and how to do it in a systematic way that's almost predictable, right? So let me show you guys how this course is set up. By the way, there's a 30-day money back guaranteed on this course. So if you guys don't like it, you guys will get money back. Look, let me show you how it's done, right? So it's split up in a few sections. The first section is the introduction, obviously, what to expect from it. After that is I'm giving you an understanding of the psychology of attraction, right? Because you need to understand that dating is a game. You need to think strategically, that there are certain laws of human nature that you cannot break, and just a few things of why people love each other. You know, it's very important to have a realistic expectation. After that, we go into the three phases of every relationship. They all go in these three phases, and these phases could overlap each other at times, right? The first phase is the pre-honeymoon period. It is when you first know the person, or it is when you're becoming acquaintance with the guy, or it is when you guys broke up and are back together, or it is when you guys had a long period of you guys not knowing each other and now you guys want to rekindle things. This works in any point of the relationship that you need to spark interest and curiosity. So these videos are specific for that. Specific to create curiosity, how to get to know the guy the right way, using your non-verbals, how to create a powerful reputation. It's truly powerful stuff. After that is the honeymoon period. This honeymoon period is how to get from curiosity to interest to creating a deep connection. So all of these videos are specifically geared to that. Not the 30, no. These specific videos are there for this phase, and this phase is any phase. You guys are having a good, happy moment. You guys just got back together, and now you feel that peak. You feel that happiness that you guys felt. That's what this is, right? So these videos are there for that, creating a lonely fantasy, the preemptive breakup, the triangle of love, using words to control these men. It's powerful stuff. After that is the post-honeymoon period, and again is a short list of videos because these videos are there to solidify the connection that you already created. So if you just had an incredible moment, or you just came out of a vacation with a guy and everything went well, you better use this phase, because if you don't do this, he's gonna become disenchanted. It's just how it is. These are very specific videos, and all you gotta do is just say, all right, where am I? I tell you where you guys are, and you just watch the video. It's pretty much like being coached by me. You got some bonus videos, stop being nice, dealing with the inevitable, how to deal with breakup, how to deal with getting over a dude. This is the how to overcome manipulation, identifying manipulation, deterring manipulation, defending yourself against manipulation, what to do if you're already in a manipulative relationship, and how to avoid them through detachment. It's pretty much an extremely succinct and laser focused course. Not one waste of motion. That's why I love it. And there's a 30-day money back guarantee if you guys don't like it. No questions asked, people. All right. And if you guys want to support this channel, this is how you support it. And I hope you guys enjoy this. All right. See you guys inside.